take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. Right, a terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Looking to throw on second down. George. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game one of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
Looking to throw. George. And he comes back with one complete.
Let's go! Let's go!
7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready? What we got? What we got? What we got? Defense!
On first down, Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
In front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he rips that one incomplete there. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. They begin with a run by Smith. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
26 mark, 26 mark. Oh, here we go.
A play fake, now move. Throw right side, complete to Carter.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, it's Smith. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw on 2nd down, Moon. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 17 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back?
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, George. Over the middle, complete. That's Lyons. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Operating from the gun, George. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw again, George. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. George. He's got his man on the crossing route. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Off the bootleg. Moon. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Moon. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Moon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Move. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
10 logo. 65.
To throw on second down. George. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. George. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Falcons send out their punter as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll run with Smith. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. On second down, it's Smith. And he shreds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 46 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. It only took them 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting them in for 6 points. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, George. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the carry, here's Smith. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They keep it with Smith on first down. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On first down, it's Moon. Completes it to Lee. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Now, these two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. And the Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was a Falcons victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation, and then the Falcons would get the victory in OT 30-27, and they were off to the Super Bowl.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. They'll run on first down. Metcalf, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, first. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 15.
Operating from the gun, George. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, George. And he fires one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Single, slot. Hey, you're running out over there.
Throwing again, George. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I'm ready.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun. And they
Vikings turn up the heat and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Partner, as you well know, every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. Able to get the pressure, get a paw on it, knock it down, and then go and grab it and take it into the end zone. What a play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The offense on third down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. And a quick throw here. That the scrimmage. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Lee. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Now Moon. Now they go screen. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Well, they do get 5 there, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Looking to throw. George. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Back to throw. George. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Looking to throw. George. He'll find Metcalf. Well, you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense. One hallmark of good defenses is and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Falcons send out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Moon. And that is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Moon to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Look at the dance and the juke. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Off play action. George.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
On the double. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Sit down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, we got to get a stop here, Dean.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. George looking for his running back, and he's got it. 14 yards there, and a Falcon 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Ready? 60 or. Record. Keep it.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Let's go now. Hey, two-stop. I'm coming.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Operating from the gun, George. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Let's get out the field, defense.
Off the play fake. George. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 16. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him. That means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On the run, it's Smith. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go.
26 months.
To throw on 3rd down. Moon. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
We got 4.
To throw again, George. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Here we go.
Throwing on 1st down, George. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. George. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half.
Not a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground with Smith. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons 33. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A first down carry for Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd and 2. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Looking to throw. Moon. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
That second down play nets a -4. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. From the gun on 3rd down. Moon. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd and 4. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. George. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Head back on the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Smith. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
We own them.
On second down now, it's Lee. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 40. We might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone and make sure.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Off the bootleg. Moon. That's complete to Smith. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing